Rinna, and that's happening. And here's your 24 hours and make this happen and let's get it done.
And did it happen?
Well, the announcement, it's Rinna's happened. It's Googleable today. I think Erika's happened too. I just don't think anyone really is focusing on that, but it's out there as of like an hour ago that Lisa Rinna, publicist, and they're saying it's because of BravoCon and she got booed and stuck up the middle finger. Why
would a publicist get fired for someone booing her? I mean, what does that have to do with the publicist? I mean,
well, like they're saying, like the publicist said, like, you know, when publicists say like you're beyond help, like you've gone rogue. I can't do my job anymore. My job is to make you look good, and you're so off the charts that.
So Lisa Rinna got fired. The publicist didn't get fired.
Well, they're saying parted ways.
Right.
But then the article goes on to say about booing. So it implies the publicist said, we're going to wish you the best of luck, which that happens when someone just, you know, has a major scandal and they're just like, our services, we're not putting our name on you because you're going rogue. But which Erika's publicist never did. Erika's publicist never did that during all the shit. He stuck by her through all the shit last season. And Tom Girardi, he was on the damn show. You saw him this season where it said Erika's right. That's him. I know him in the real world.
But why wouldn't the Hiltons get rid of him if he was the one that was leaking the stories about Kathy?
Well, that's what we're led to believe, but I mean, maybe that's not true.
Right.
Do we know that for sure? I'm not so sure that's true. I think if you're a publicist, it's a brilliant move to protect it's a brilliant move. We all stop talking about, I don't know if that's really true. I mean, I know there's all the theories and there's a UK version. There was a version shown in the UK where he was in it.
I heard about that.
Like, yeah. But the thing is, they showed him listening to a conversation. That is a lot different than leaking it. And I mean, there's a lot of steps in between there. So I don't know why everyone was so like, I mean, I get it listening, but I mean, you would listen.
If Kyle said,
that's what
Kathy found out and it's your publicist and da, 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 da. I mean, she sounded like she had hard info.
She did. So listen, maybe my source is not right. Like maybe to your point, I don't know why Nikki wouldn't fire this one. But that's what someone told me yesterday and I mean, this has nothing to do with the article that came out today. And all of a sudden now today, someone said to me yesterday, oh, Erika's publicist is parting ways and Rinna's this. This was not anywhere in the media. And I said, I don't get it. And they said, well, Nikki's, and I know Lisa Rinna's publicist also. I know both names. I know them in the real world. I've met them. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. This one does also work with him. And then all of a sudden, like 10 hours later, there's some article out there. Lisa Rinna and publicist part ways. I'm like, I think this is true.
That's real then.
Which that goes to your theory of like Kathy Hilton in Hollywood. That ain't no joke, guys. That ain't no joke. When you say Denise Richards isn't this, and like to your point, Kathy, the Hiltons in that town, that's a real thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's, you know, she's not like some, you know, A-list actress or whatever, you know what I mean? She's not an A-list actress. They're not producing movies or, you know, Netflix shows, but, you know,
the Hilton name.
I think just as far as that circle, and honestly, I would again give her the credit of like that whole, you know, that whole circle of the Ryan Seacrest, the Paris Hilton, the Kardashian Jenner, that circle of people get things done. And if someone in that group turns on you, you can have some doors closed. And it's, you know, is she kind of like a little bit of like a matriarch type person in LA? Yes, I would say that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not like she's, you know, she's not some, you know, woman who's producing TV shows, and she's not Kris Jenner.
No, but she's really close with Seacrest and Jenner, and
Exactly.
she's
Yeah.
in
And
that circle.
absolutely. And for sure. And those bloodlines run deep. They've been friends for decades. And when one of them gets hit and someone comes from, they form a circle. And yeah, so for sure. That's why I was curious. I found it really interesting because it was almost like Rinna was just committing like suicide, where I said, and I said to you, I think maybe she's gone and maybe this is the way she exits the show. She says that she wants, 7 figures, they say they're not going to give it to her and that's the way they get rid of her. But going after and getting on the bad side of that, if it's real, that might not be a ship she can, upright again. Like she might not be able to come out from underneath that rock.
What do you mean, like drawing a line between you and Kathy Hilton?
Yeah, I don't, I think that they'll bring her. I do think that she'll come back. I do. I think they're going to probably let enough time go by and they're going to take a long pause with filming again and let some other stuff go, air and do other shows. But I don't know. I mean, if Kathy Hilton says she's really not coming back if Rinna stays.
You don't think for the show they'll choose Kathy? I mean, they'll choose Rinna just because she's bigger for the show. I mean, Kathy even said in the same sentence, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just a friend. So like, let them figure it out. I mean, that's pretty much, she added that in there. She didn't say let them figure it out, but she said, I'm just a friend. So it doesn't even matter. I mean, that's also a ploy. That's a ploy.
Right. And that's her way of being like, it doesn't really matter. Like she's not so invested in it. Like, I don't care. But if she said, like how Rinna said, that she's going to ruin Kyle and take her down and destroy her in LA, you think that she can't do that to Rinna? She can.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. She can. I mean, does she have enough? Like, what can you do for someone who doesn't really go out to the parties? What does that mean? Like, you're not going to get invited to certain parties. Like, she's not going to get invited to Elton John's Oscar party. She's not going to get, like, really, what does that mean?
Well, those things will start happening. No, definitely no Kar Jenner Christmas party. Not that she was ever invited. She won't go to the Kardashians' Christmas party. And there's no real jobs that she's necessarily losing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what is she really losing? Is she gonna, like, not going to get a table at Craig's?
That's what I said to you. I said, as all of a sudden they're going to be like, we're filled tonight. That's like where my mind goes.
But I don't think that's really not her world anyway. That's not her.
She doesn't like going to Craig's every night.
No. I don't think
right. So what really is there?
Right. What's she given up?
Well, I mean, are her daughters going to start losing modeling jobs? I mean, I know I'm giving Kathy maybe a lot of credit here, like a mob boss. That she would care about. That she would stop in her tracks and walk off the show. That she would care about.
That's not. Trust me. That's not happening.
Like, no. Your daughters cannot walk in any show that Kendall Jenner walks in from now on.
Ain't happening.
I don't think so either. So, I mean, I guess you're right. Like, she doesn't really care, but the power of Kathy, I don't know. I heard that this is, I mean, listen, the person that called me yesterday, this wasn't out there. There was no article about Rinna and her publicist parting ways. And now here it is 10 hours later. So I think this person who called me said